All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in the last part of this season 3, session 3, season 3, I think it is right to call it, or part 3. But thank you, everyone, for joining. We trust that we will enjoy today, as usual, practical things. Today is an interesting one because it's something that we find ourselves in at our places of work. People that are at the tail end of their career and people who are starting their career, and maybe you are in between there, or maybe you are at the starting point of your career. I'm not sure any of us is at the tail end of their career, but I'm sure most of us are starting or in the middle. But yeah, today will be interesting, learning how to handle these silent dynamics, because these are things that may not be so loud, but they really have a silent effect on how people do their work, on how people behave when they are placed in certain teams, on how people look at each other, on how people consider each other's work and each other's efforts. Silently, these things have an effect. So today we are going to be talking about how to effectively maneuver these things. And to set us off will be Coach Jennifer, but I will do something that we do once in a while. I will start off with a prayer. Father, thank you for everyone that is in this place. Thank you for your wisdom that you give to us. Your desire is for us to excel at whatever we do. And this is why we have these teachings, to cause us to excel and to stand out and to show your glory. So you give us wisdom and knowledge and understanding. In Jesus' name, amen. I will hand over to Coach Jennifer to set us off.
You haven't given me time.
10 minutes, 5 minutes, no, 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Even if you give me 5, it's all right. Anyway, hi everybody. We were first like only women here. And then Brian came. I was like, okay, the women came first. Anyway, hi everyone.
Just correction. Only women. I was also here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Jose was the only man among us. Oh God. Okay. Let me get serious. Jose, your time. I'm not even going to look at that time. So, welcome everyone. I'm very excited to see people who have, as in, you've been coming over and over, as in these are like our repeat participants. I'm excited, really, really excited to see you. So the topic today is how to work with people at different stages of their career. And I was thinking about what angle to use for this particular topic. I was like, where do I go? I'm sure Jose is going to tackle team. I'm sure they're going to tackle all sorts of stuff. But I want to talk about you. How do you deal with the people at different stages of your career? Because I have worked with people who the issue they have had is they have changed a stage in their career, they've moved up, they've been promoted, and they have forgotten that they have been promoted. So they are still operating like they are still at a different level. So that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on you as a people. So how do you work with you at different stages of your career? That's what I'm going to focus on. So I think the first thing, I'm going to talk about like five different levels, but I want to start with just the first thing, which is the key thing that I want it to be your takeaway from whatever it is that I'm going to share. At the start of every stage of your career, when you've just joined a place, when you've now been there for 2-3 years, when you've just been promoted, when it's like maybe you're now entering different levels of management, at the start of every stage of your career, determine what your vision is, what your mission is, and what your intention is. Determine at the very start, what do I want to see? What do I want to do in this organization? I don't know if any of you has ever done that. Have you done that? You've joined an organization and before you even start, you sit down and say, what is my vision and intention for being here? Have you done that before? Either thumbs up or thumbs down. Just thumbs down or thumbs up. Can you find your emojis, people? Me, I'm a person who likes feedback. Well, I will call you and ask you, oh, okay, at this vanilla. Brian has done it. Yeah. The reason why I want this to be the key thing, thank you very much. Thank you very much, the people who said yes and the people who responded, is because I do not want you to be driven by the organization, your life, to be driven by the external. You know how you enter an organization and what's happening, the organization is the one that's running your life. You need to determine what it is you're doing there. It's like how I've shared in a previous webinar. When I joined the place where I worked, as I think like for most of my work, my former working life, I decided there in 5 years, I wanted to be in management. In 10 years, I wanted to be out of that place. So it determined how I behaved, it determined what I did, it determined everything that I did. So at the start, when you join, determine your vision, your mission, and your intention for being there. Whenever you get into a new role, whenever you move up, determine what am I doing here? Why am I in this place? So that's the key thing that I want you to take away. Now I'm going to talk about as you go through the different stages of the career. So you're at entry level. So entry level, this one, like the first 2 years, Vanessa has like a forward, she's forwarding, speed up. Have you seen Vanessa's? Okay. When you're at entry level, for me here, my advice is work with both your hands and both your feet. as in throw yourself in that job, whatever it is you've just started out. This is where it's going to determine your trajectory in the organization. What you do like in these first 2 years is going to determine whether you're going to be the ones who are on course to be part of management, or you're forever going to be the ones who are just going to go like normal promotion. So when you're just at entry level, I don't know how many of you are at that level, work with both your hands and both your feet. This is a steep learning curve. You need to be as dedicated as possible, paying attention to learning, observing and learning a lot. Ask a lot of questions, be open to learning. Even if you've come with a lot of ideas, be open to learning because you need to learn the organization. So entry level, steep learning curve, work. Do as much work as possible because the more work you do, the more you know, the more people will begin to notice you. Because people begin to notice the people who can climb up in the organization from what you're doing in those first 2 years. And that's especially if you want to climb up. If, of course, your mission is just to coast, then you can coast. You can coast at entry level. Now, when you've been there for some time, now you're no longer like a fresh person at work. You're not in management, but you're in the middle there. Still, understand what do I want to do here. At this stage, you're actually just imparting knowledge on the new people who are coming in, and then also protect the new ones. I think this is something that I did partly, and sometimes I did not do it very well, because at times there are things that you'll see that other people will not tell you, mistakes that you even made. So use this time to protect the new ones, the fresh people who are coming in. Be willing to do manager things. Be very open to step in for your manager, because in doing this, you're positioning yourself for promotion. Again, this is if you want to be promoted in the organization. If you want. If you don't want, then it's all right. Be in the background. Just do your background things. And then start doing strategic positioning. This is where now you're beginning to approach people. I remember Dina talked about like the people who will speak up for you. You're beginning to be identified with them and to kind of interact with them. So here it's like you're beginning to position yourself for whatever it is that you want to be in the organization. That is what you're beginning to do. Now the third stage for me was management, entry level management. Again, when you've been promoted to this, you have your first team that you're supervising. What is my vision? What is my mission? What is my intention? Beyond the KPIs, you need to understand, what have I come to do here? That's a question that I usually ask myself. These people who have been assigned to me and have been assigned to, what am I supposed to be doing with them? And at times you need to do that every year, besides the KPIs, because leadership is not just, I'm a person who believes in the Bible. Promotion comes from God, and that's what I believe. And there's a reason why people have been put under you, and you've been put over people. So besides the KPIs and everything else, you need to understand, what am I here to do? With your innate leadership gifts, what am I here to do? Ask yourself that question, determine the vision, mission, and the intention. And as I said, at times you might need to do that yearly. Because the time when I did my management, there was a year when it was just for me to learn. There was a year when it was for me to develop a process to improve the way that people were doing audits, because it wasn't working well. Then there was a year when my whole year was just preparing the person who was going to take over for me. That was my mission. So you need to take time to actually understand, what am I meant to be doing here, me as a person. But at entry level, your key thing is solving problems. Make sure that you're solving the problems that the supervisors are giving you. You're a problem solver, and you're a person who is managing the team, making sure that creating an environment where your team can work well, where your team can thrive. So you need to be a person who knows how to handle people a lot, who can see that so-and-so is stressed, who can see that so-and-so needs rest. There needs to be a little bit of care. Not even a little bit, a lot of care at this stage of your career, a lot of care. So you need to be a problem solver, so the person who has supervised, your supervisor who's given you work is not worried that when I assign work to this team, they're going to fail. Problem solver and good people manager, almost like a people whisperer. Have an idea of the overall vision of the organization, but so that will help you just understand what problem needs to be solved first, but be very good at solving problems. So that's what you're doing at this particular stage of your career. And here it's all about people, solve problem. People, solve problem. Yes? So now when you go from entry-level management to middle-level management, now you're getting into process. Again, I'm going to repeat what I said. When you get into this level, what is my vision? What is my mission? What is my intention of being here? Now, at this level is where you need to shift your mind into the balance of solving problems, that is being very technical, and getting strategic. Because in middle level management, you are now the interpreter, you're a translator of the commands that are coming from up. I'll put up my hand, yes, Jennifer. So of the commands that are coming from up to the people who are beneath you, the teams that you're actually leading. So you need to have a balance of both. And this is why I said, I wanted to focus on this, because I've had a couple of people who've moved into this level of management and they were being stressed. And when we had the conversation, I realized the person was still operating as an entry-level manager when they were in middle-level management. So you actually need to be intentional about sitting down, reviewing and seeing, how do I need to switch my mind? What do I need to do at this particular level? So this particular person, I worked with them to begin to understand strategy more, because the person was still in problem-solving mode when they were in middle management, leading a team, I think 12 teams, over 100 people, and they were trying to solve problems. It wasn't going to work. It actually wasn't going to work. So you need to switch your mind. Switch your mind from, I'm no longer entry level, I'm now middle management, I'm focused on processes, I am interpreting the strategic to the technical. So you're in the middle there. So what you're doing is managing the processes. What you're doing is encouraging collaboration between the teams. It's calling out the greatness in your team leaders. It's helping them to see that they can lead, helping them to lead their people better. So the people who you're caring about are the team leaders, but it's more about helping them to be better team leaders. So that is at middle level management. Middle level management, balancing act and processes. Now, when you reach senior, I don't know who is like top here. Top management, again, I'm going to repeat. When you get to that stage of your career, vision, mission, intention. Not before you go to the organizational vision, mission, and whatever. First, determine, what am I doing in this role? I'm executive director. I am vice president of I don't know what. I am CEO. What am I doing in this role? Number one, what do I want to see? What is my mission here? And even this year, what is my focus going to be as a person who is in this role, before you now get into what the company requires of you. And here it is more big picture. Here it is more positioning. How does the company look? How does the organization look? So it's focusing on the big picture. Now, the thing that helps here is if you've gone through the ranks, it helps you to have an idea of what your decisions are, how your decisions are going to affect the people below you, but it's more focused on the bigger picture. So you need to switch your mind to that. Where are we going? What is the vision of the company? Where do you want to be in 5, in 10 years? How do I communicate this to the people who are below me so that we are moving in that same direction? What is the company looking like when I behave like this, or when my team behaves like this? So it's focusing on that. It's more about creating an environment for the organization, not even people, of accountability, collaboration, growth, and communication especially. Because at times when you get up there, you forget that communication is very important. And this is something that very many people complain about. It's like, there's a time when I did like an HR survey, and most of the people were complaining about how they don't understand the communication in the organization is not good. As in strategy, they don't get it. So communication needs to be one of the key things, because even if you're looking at the bigger vision, people need to be able to understand where, the people who need to be able to understand where the organization is going. So at this particular level, it is about positioning. However, you really need to care about the people, the few vices or whoever it is who are reporting to you. They need to, as in you need to really, now this is like, it's not even parenting, but you need to care for them just like the entry-level manager was caring about his team. Your team, this particular team, because now they are facing different levels of stresses that are beyond them. So at times you need to send them for retreats to deal with anger. You need to send them for retreats to handle their relationships. as in you need to care for them at that level. So I think that is the main, this is what I wanted to share. I hope I'm within time, but I'm going to repeat the main thing that I wanted to share. I'm going back to the beginning. At every level, let's even say at the beginning of every year, and whenever it is that you enter a new stage in your career, always take time as a person to determine, what is my intention here? What is my vision? And what is my mission? Because when you determine that, is when you call out the greatness within you, call out your innate gifts to support you to excel and to thrive in that particular area, in that particular stage of your career. I think that's my share. Am I within time?
I will not answer that one, but I'll just say thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Coach Jennifer, and for helping people see this thing from you as an individual, the different stages of your life and your career. And it's really important to know how you yourself grow through those stages, so that you're not only looking outside. Like we said, we have, I think our advantage is the three of us look at things from different angles, and that brings such strength. Coach Jennifer looks at things from you as an individual. How do you function in different circumstances? Dina likes to help the emerging leaders, the young leaders, how you can look at these things. And I'll be sharing about, if you are a team leader, how you can navigate people at different stages of their career. So if you're leading a team, or if you're a young emerging leader, or just generally all of us, I think Coach Jennifer speaks to all of us because she speaks to an individual. Coach Jennifer, I think you had your hand up. Did you want to say something, or you were, that was all?
When am I talking about the certificates?
You can do so now. Then we'll.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
So I sent an email out to, I think most of you who are here have received that email, because I sent it out to the people who have attended at least 2 of the webinars. We're going to have a certificate for this particular module. I hope that you have you all received the email? Just hands up for me so that I know that we are together. Again, my hand is going to say my hand is up. Can you just see the thumbs up if you've all received the certificate? And not the certificate, the email? Okay, because yeah, thank you very much. So I hope you understood. This is just to re-emphasize. Lynn, do you have a question? I don't think Lynn has a question. Okay, she has put down her hand quickly. So this is just to re-emphasize there are 2 conditions for you to receive the certificate. The certificate, so there are 2 conditions. The first one is to attend at least 3 of these sessions, which I think most of you now have already done, at least 3 of the sessions. But then we wanted you to also write an article demonstrating understanding of this subject, because we want to make sure that you have received this information, you've internalized it, and you found a way to digest it, and it's applicable. You're able to apply it. You're able to see where you can apply it in your life. So there is an article that their guidance. I think you saw the guidelines, detailed guidance. I thank Dana for coming up with this. So there's we have guidelines on the structure, we have guidelines on the content, we have guidelines on the formatting. We'd like the deadline for them to be submitted either as a Word document or a PDF is the 19th of August, and you're sending it to either my email address, the email that communicates to you, and you copy Reimagine Leadership Global. Everything is in the email there. But we just want you to express what it is that you have learned and how you're going to apply it. And we're going to receive those articles. We are going to publish them, because you can actually use them later on when you're being promoted, as in LinkedIn refer to this. I actually wrote an article. This is like you wrote an article in the newspaper. So we want it to be used as an advantage for you also. That is not, you didn't just receive a certificate of attendance or participation, but you demonstrated that you actually learned, and the knowledge, you know how to apply the knowledge. So I hope that is clear. Is that clear to everyone regarding the certification? Thumbs up or forward, as Vanessa prefers. Okay, Joy, I'm waiting. Yes, Irene. Vanessa, yes. Okay, at what point? You can start writing the article now, because Barbara, you've already attended 3, so you can start writing the article now. The main thing is hand in by the 19th. 19th of August is the final hand in. The final day to hand in. Is that okay? Does anyone else have a question about the certificate? Anyone else? A question? Okay, if you have a question, then we'll continue. Joy, you have a question? Just unmute and ask.
Yes, I do. How long should the article be?
So let me look at the email. Did you receive the email?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it says here formatting, the length is 500 to 800 words, which is 1 or 2 pages. 500
Okay, then, thank you.
Yeah, 800 words. Just skim through the email, because it has all the information. It is detailed there. You just look through the email and you'll have all the information. Does anyone else have a question? Before I hand over to Jose, we're about okay. So I hand back to Jose. Hi, Brian KBM. Brian KBM, how are you? I always see you, but
Is silent. Brian, it's good to have you. Thank you for joining in. And thank you, Coach Jennifer, for explaining to us. We have had 2 webinars. For this one, we decided that we ought to begin to issue certificates. The good thing is that you are not paying for the webinar, you are not paying for the certificate. All that is required is for you to just write an article that shows that you have understood. And it's the good thing is that if we had said just 1 page, someone would use big fonts so that they write a few words. But now we are giving the number of words, so that's a good thing. But I'll hand over to Dina to share with us in maybe the next 10 minutes for the next 10 minutes. Dina, over to you.
First, give us a second to laugh. Well, oh wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Coach Jennifer. Guys, I forgot to warn you. And I always tell you, because I see most of you are not coming for the first time, when Coach Jennifer is speaking, like, I was learning. Thank you so much for serving us. Thank you so much. I was thinking to myself that, yeah, for the roles I have done, I always knew that I want to do this role for maybe 1 year, or I want to do this role for not more than 3 years. But I didn't go into the detail of, okay, in the 1 year, what is it that you are accomplishing? Or I think I only got like that for the current role that I'm doing. I knew the time I want to do it for, and I know what I came to get from the role or what I came to give to the role. So thank you so much. You really served us. So I was thinking about how to work with people who are at different stages their careers. I think one thing we must really appreciate is that it brings a lot of dynamics. Please forgive my voice, people, but I think I'm still able, to communicate clearly. When you have team where people are at entry level, mid level, seniors, some look like they should be seniors, but they are still serving at entry level. They look like maybe they're senior in experience, but they're still serving somewhere in the mid level. Maybe they've stepped into management, but they're still managing at an entry level management. it's dynamic. And I think what we have to appreciate is it's important to know that these people communicate differently, different styles. Their priorities are totally different. They have different expectations, and even their pace, the pace with which they do things, with which they respond to instruction, totally different. So once you appreciate that fact, and then you go back and do the work on you that Coach Jennifer just showed us, I want to share just 3 things that I thought of. And because I am a mentor for emerging leaders, I will start at the very thing which is so close to my heart. I don't see it quite a lot in the corporate environment, especially, but I feel it's something that would totally, totally help the situation. And that thing is reverse mentorship, where the guys who are fresh from the university, they have these brilliant ideas, fresh ideas. They have a new way of looking at things. I mean, maybe by the time they came out, there was a new software on the market. Will I get through these 10 minutes, when I feel like I'm struggling with the voice, but okay. So they have their fresh ideas. Maybe they're so good with technology. They're so good with this data thing. But then the seniors, maybe they have seen several installations. They've seen several projects kick off, start, maybe even fail, and maybe succeed and expand. So you can have reverse mentorship where each team or each category gets the opportunity to teach from their experience and from their knowledge. Where while the fresh people are teaching us the data skills, this new software, the programming and all of those things, and even just the fresh ideas that they have come with the way of doing things, then we also allow the opportunity to those who have been around to show us how we can fold these brilliant ideas to build the picture we want to see. Which then brings me to the second thing, aligning everyone with the vision so that people don't feel like they're chasing different things. Like you don't have people forming cliques at work where it's us versus them. Everybody needs to know that while you're working on this, while you're at this stage, while you are at this, we are all chasing this. I want to give an example from, of course, the field where I spend most of my time. If you are on like a project team in oil and gas, you will find that you have maybe a fresh graduate engineer. Then you have like a senior technical advisor. And then you have like a mid-career operations officer who has been doing this thing for quite a while. He has seen several operations start, stop, prosper, fail, and all of that. And all these people are on the same team. But each one of them brings their own value. In as much as their priorities may be shifted, there's a value that they bring to the project team. And so you have to help them see that even if their working styles are different, even if the value they bring is varied, the goal is the same. If we are putting up an oil rig, we are putting up an oil rig. You with your data and analytics and whatever, you with your experience, the people management, the what and not, we are putting up an oil rig. I think someone in a previous webinar session told us about the gentleman from NASA, the cleaner, who the manager asked that, what are you doing? And he said, I'm sending a man to the moon. But he was cleaning the floor, right? Everyone needs to understand that, yeah, we are like this and like this, but This is the goal. And I think the other thing I find a bit disturbing, which as a leader you have to look into, is avoid as much as possible referring to people as more experienced, less experienced. Once you start to categorize like that, you've already formed the clique without even realizing it. Where the less experienced are like, Munage, they are the more experienced, let them do their thing. Even when they see a fall coming, they'll not step up because you have categorized them as less experienced. You will not get the value from them. Just instead of that, how about you look at them as, contributors in different seasons, each of them bringing their different strengths. And I think the last thing for me that I'm going to talk about is just a second. Okay. The last thing, and which is very important, is to adapt your communication and your approach. So you heard what Coach Jennifer said. At entry level, we want to work with both our hands and our feet, which means we're waiting for instruction. Do this. Go here. Take on this. This is my manager likes to say, Dina, this is your baby. Like to say, this one is on you. Like we are waiting to receive that kind of those instructions, let's say. So if you're speaking to those who are early career professionals, you have to provide the instructions very clearly, give them context for the tasks so that they don't imagine beyond the scope, or so that when you provide context, you allow their creativity to be shaped, because there are a lot of wild ideas going on in their mind. But when you provide the context, you help to shape the ideas. So give them clear instructions, provide context for tasks, and also be the consistent encouragement. For what Coach Jennifer was saying, consistent encouragement. Maybe they don't have all the knowledge they require. Maybe they don't have the full skill set for the assignment. But when you see good work, appraise good work and say, this is good. If it's not so good, then share how the improvement can be made. Consistent encouragement. Then if you're addressing the mid-career, they like to feel involved. Yeah. Don't just throw things at them. You've cooked your stuff forever, and then you just dump. They will criticize the ideas. They will just throw the whole thing down. Involve them. We talked about this in last week's webinar, I think, how to get by. They want to get decision-making opportunities. Involve them. And then the seniors, well, obviously they want to. This is political, but get their inputs. Get their inputs on things, because, I mean, the man on the throne must shine, right? Respect their experience. Acknowledge and respect their experience. And then, of course, delegate strategic responsibilities, because for them, they don't have the time, first of all. You know, you write a very long email to the guy and then he just says, done, approved. So when you're giving, when you want their input, when you need their support on a matter, lay down everything. Get your background work done. Don't start doing your work in front of him or her. Get your work done. So when you go to her or him, you have your facts straight. So that after perusing, she doesn't have to call you to ask further questions. She just says, done. So I think for me, that's what I wanted to share. There are just 3 things. Adapt your communication and your approach. Secondly, really, really leverage reverse mentorship where each one teaches where their strength is. And then third, of course, align everyone to the vision. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dina. I thought I'd put those both things. Where are they? Those ones. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And the voice carried you through. Thank you for battling on even in spite of the cold. Thank you. That's dedication. Because it's easy for someone to say, guys, I'm not well. I have a cold. Sorry, I will not be there. But the fact that you still are here and you battled through your time and shared what you wanted to share, we appreciate you for that. And I think you have done to me what I did to you the other time. You have you have looked into my notes and shared. So I'll just add a few things. But thank you so much. I think you looked at it from an emerging leader, but also as a team leader. And I'll just add on a few things. I think if I walked into a team, if I was handed a team, or if I found myself managing a team, the obvious thing is that, like we have said, there'll be people at different stages of their career. It might even be the same team, they are in the same management space, but they are different stages. Some are new to management, some have been in management for a while, some just can't wait for their pension and go. So how do you maneuver if that is the team that you have handed to you? And right now, for some people, it might seem a far off reality, but as you continue to grow, these are things that you will face in your work. And it doesn't matter whether it's in the office setting or if it's in a church setting, you're a choir leader. There are people in choir who have been around choir for a long time. They know all the songs. If you try to introduce a new song, they will say, but the other one is the one that we need to sing. We have always sung that one on Christmas. And then there are those who say, but you people, those songs are old. Yeah, we have heard those songs from the time we entered, can't we? So this cuts across. It is not just only in the work environment. When you're a team leader, you will find people who have been who are different stages of their career. And I'll just be talking not necessarily management, but just stages, let's say age, or not something around the time spent in their work, the time spent. So some are just beginning their career, they are just setting off. And of course, they come with such exuberance, with such energy, with such ideas, with their whole I know it all mentality. You people are old, you don't know what's on, you don't know what's cooking, you don't know what's rocking. They come with that, with the vision to change everything in the company and align the company to the new space of where it should go. And it is good energy if it is utilized very well. It's what drives the energy, because sometimes the company can be stuck in its old ways. And you just need someone who is fresh to come and give a fresh impetus to things, a new outlook on things, bring the company up to speed with what's happening outside there. So sometimes we really get these people to the other side and say, you just knew you just listen. You keep there, you are here to only be seen and not to be heard. When we need an opinion, we'll ask you. And yet these people, they really, the young people, when they are fresh from campus, because the world keeps changing and you can't keep doing the same thing throughout centuries. The world keeps changing, and people who are fresh into a workplace, they come with fresh ideas. And so their value is much more than we actually think, because they come with a new outlook on things. They come with new eyes. Sometimes you have looked at things the same way and you all get the same results. And then it takes a fresh pair of eyes to look at things differently. And then you realize, why had we never thought of that? Why had we never imagined that? So the people who are very new are not to be relegated. They really carry passion. Sometimes you are all tired. You come to office and you are tired, but this person is energetic there. What is there to be done? They really carry a lot of strength, a lot of vision. Like Coach Jennifer said, they are in with both their feet and their legs. So they really do, with both their hands and their feet. So they really carry a lot of energy. And so they are really, really, really good to have on the team. They might, sometimes the ideas, you might consider them out of this world, but in their minds, these are brilliant ideas, and maybe just a little tweaking here, a little realigning, instead of completely rubbishing them. A little realigning, a little tweaking, sitting down and asking them, why do you think this thing can work? They might surprise you and show you something you have never seen. And instead of just writing it off and saying, you're Gen Z, you are. Now there's another generation younger than Gen Z. I'm trying to remember what they call them. But Gen what? Coach Dina knows them. Dina, what are they called?
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha. So if you are Gen Z and you thought you are the youngest, there's another generation under you. So it's easy to rubbish them and think, but if you sit down and listen to them, they have thought of things in the context of what is happening, what is new, what is actually out there in the world. Sometimes you can get so closed into your company and into your old ways, but these newer people, they are more versed with what's out there. And so they can be very much help. So rather than relegate their ideas, if you take time to sit down and listen to them, some ideas might be a bit, they might need more work and more patience. But if you sit down and listen to them, they carry a lot of, they are now people, so they carry a lot of ideas. They can be very key in giving impetus to the company. So if you have such people on the team, pay attention to what they are saying, because they see things from a new light. Sometimes you're in a company and you see things that way. Even a new thing, you still see it in light of the company. And when this person comes, they see things from a different perspective. So please pay as much attention as you can to these new people. They carry a lot of insight. They carry a lot of, they are contemporary. They are in tune with what is happening. They come with fresh ideas that can really be what is needed to boost the company to the next level. And of course, they carry such a lot of energy and strength. So don't shut down their ideas. Don't relegate them to the back. Sometimes there are some meetings where you might need to invite one of those new people and say, we are thinking of this. What do you think? Sometimes at management meetings, you'd be surprised. You might need a fresh ear in some of those senior management meetings to just say, what's happening out there? And you will be surprised, but don't be shy about including them in some of the meetings when you need a fresh perspective, when you need a now market perspective. Don't be shocked. Don't relegate them to being out there, because they come with new ideas, new insight, and they can be very valuable. Just learn how to harness them, learn how to encourage them, learn how to tweak whatever they bring into a way to, push things forward. And then the middle people, the people that have been here, they are neither there nor they are neither here nor there. They are just in the middle. They have been in the organization for a couple of years. And for these people, it's easy to get bored because they have been in their role for some time. There's nothing new under the sun, they will tell you. I know how that thing works. Who is it? I know what so-and-so is going to say. Leave them for me. I don't bother with that person. That's what they always say. So they have been around. It's easy to get bored. It's easy for them to, get a bit comfortable. They are bored. They can get bored if they are not driven, like Coach was saying. They want to go up. It's easy for people who have been who are in the middle stage of their career to get bored. So either they get complacent or they're looking for opportunities outside there because they are bored with here where they are now. So they're either complacent or they are looking for things out there. And I think one of the good ways to deal with them is to now begin to involve them in, like I said, high profile meetings, begin to give them opportunity to shine as well. New tasks, challenge them. For them, it's how do you challenge this person? How do you challenge them to get out of their comfort? Because it can be like they're in the lounge, they are past the door, but they're not in the office. They are there in the lounge waiting to get into the office. So how do you challenge them? How do you wake them up? Include them in some decision making. Challenge them, give them opportunity to chair meetings. Sometimes opportunity to chair meetings, and let's create that spark in them. There's the excitement. When you tell that person, you've been here for 3 years, yes. Next Monday, you're chairing the meeting. Of course, they will first sweat, but then the challenge will help them to wake up to the realization that, there is actually value in me. I'm not just seated in the lounge waiting for the door to open so that I can enter into management. Challenge them, give them new tasks, give them new responsibilities, encourage them to do new courses, to wake up certain things in them, new courses. Take them along when you're going for certain discussions, when you're going to meet someone, take them along when you're going for a meeting with the senior leader. Take them along. Let them know that they are not just seated there in the lounge doing their work, but there is value in them, such that you can counter that boredom that can easily get into the people that are in the middle stage of their career. And sometimes that's when people begin to drop out of work, drop out of that organization. People rarely drop out at the start unless the place is very toxic. And people rarely drop out at the top because now they have arrived. It is the people in the middle there. Either they are bored, they see no prospect. That's why for you to show them that there's prospect for growth, you begin to involve them in certain meetings. You begin to give them responsibilities. You begin to carry them along. You begin to show them that, there is prospect here. Things are happening. Send them to new courses. That way you will get them, active. And like Dina talked about, those who are at the tail end of their career. Please, if you have questions or something, just we forgot to mention this. Put these questions in the chat, and then we will have them, responded to. But for those that are at the tail end of their career, they are, they want to retire and go. So don't disturb my peace. Don't disturb anything in the organization. Don't introduce new things. They will disturb everyone. Leave us in peace. You will introduce that thing when I have gone. I only have 2 years. Let that thing wait for the 2 years. When I am off, you can introduce whatever you want to introduce. So there are people like that. They are just looking at their exit. They don't want anything disturb them. I want to be here peacefully, get my pension, and go. Or just I've been here for a long time. I've been in this part of this team for quite a number of years. I think now it's my time to exit. So I think for them, it's to show them that they still carry worth, that they still carry value, that they have worth that they can pass on to the younger ones. So when you constitute a team, even if they are not, at least put them in the team for advice sake. Put them in the team and tell them you are the advisor of this team. Your wealth of wisdom, that way they feel, okay, I still have something to offer here. Let me see what. It's just really showing them that they still carry worth, and that worth has to be passed on, because the truth is they carry a lot of experience and they carry a lot of worth. And you want to make sure that worth is transferred before these people exit. You want to make sure that they don't go and then, it's only so-and-so used to know how to do that thing. And now they are not here and the company is stuck. Make sure that they transfer their knowledge. So include them in particular teams, give them mentorship opportunities, encourage them to take others under their wings so that they can pass on. That way they will feel they still have something to offer. They are not in the company just to tick days off the calendar until they leave, but they are here to still pass on knowledge. And like Dina was saying, diction is very key to such people because they tend to be sensitive. You just say something, hey, so you think I'm old? You think now I don't have anything to say? So diction is very, very key when you're dealing with people who are at the tail end of their career. Be mindful with how you use words around them. Think about what you say and how you are going to say it in a way that honors them, but also does not show that they are past their expiry dates. Because some people might think that way. Now you think I am past my expiry date. You think because I've been here for so long, I don't have. Now you're only talking to the young ones. You think for us, we have nothing to offer. So be very mindful with the words that you use around them so they feel valued, they feel honored. And at all times, encourage mutual respect. At all times as a team leader, encourage mutual respect. Encourage everyone, like Dina was saying, let everyone know that all of us have something to bring. Let the young people see the value, the experience, the wealth of knowledge that those that have been on the team for long enough that they carry. Let those that have been on the team for long enough also appreciate the new zeal, the new ideas, the fact that being on top of the game that the young people bring to the team. Let those in the middle child is that is usually also forgotten. But let those in the middle also know that they are valuable, that they are not just waiting for management, but they are also included in tasks, and that they are, you see potential in them, you see leadership in them. I think that way you will be able to handle your team very well. I see we are out of time, and I will stop at that. But just to encourage you, we have a masterclass. You got the email on the masterclass. All these sessions are free, and they will continue to be free webinars. But this masterclass is something we thought would really be beneficial. So we're going to put quite a bit of effort into preparing for this masterclass and into delivering what we are going to deliver. And we chose the masterclass on, so we had, the other session was how to get buy-in from different people. And the masterclass will just be going deeper into getting people to strategic people to agree with what you are doing, because this is something that is very important. We all have ideas. We need the ideas supported. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you need people to support those ideas. Whether they are clients, you need people to support their ideas, or you are in management. Whatever it is that you are doing, you need people to come along with what you are doing. So this is really, really key. We put it at the basic fee of 100,000. When you look at what some people are charging for webinars, of course, everyone charges what they want to charge, but we want this to be as inclusive as possible. You realize we have been doing this for free because we really want to share what we have. So even if we have put a price tag to this masterclass, we have tried to bring it as low as possible. We had a debate on how much it would be, and we really thought, let's make it as inclusive as it can be. So we encourage you. You received the email. Please consider this very, very much, because it will really be beneficial for you. We really encourage you to be there. The details and the email you received, the previous email you received. I'll hand over to Coach Jennifer to do if there are any questions, any comments. Yeah. You people were supposed to stop me when I start talking. You were supposed to stop me.
I know. You're the boss today. We didn't want you to tell us that you're making you think you're old or you're useless.
But it's fine.
Because you're the boss. You're the boss today. Anyway, thank you very much, Jose. As in, this it has been so amazing. Your sharings have been so amazing. We have 5 minutes. If you have any question, I think we're going to take only two, either questions or comments. Okay, Frank. Let's go with you, Frank. Yes, Frank.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Frank.
Mine is not necessarily a question. I thought I would first give opportunity for people with questions. Mine is more of just giving a vote of thanks. I think the past 5 weeks have been so much filled with a lot of learning and personal reflections, because every masterclass came with a lot of personal reflection, because you have to reflect on what is happening around you and within you. So it's really been that challenging, and with a lot of learnings, of course. And I believe these learnings, we needed them before, but unfortunately this is the right time the Lord prepared for it. And we believe that these learnings, personally for me, are preparing me for better as a person, but also as a leader, because by grace of God I serve as a team leader, so that gives me the opportunity to serve people. And as a person in the mid-career level, you have also people above you and people below you that you have to coordinate with work to achieve the common goal. So sometimes when you do not get these exposures, you as a person, you'll just rush with your things, and you've not consulted with the big people above you. Yet for them, all they want is involvement. They want to be part of it. They want to see that we are saying yes, we are moving this journey together. So sometimes we make decisions without knowledge. And I want to say that these past 5 weeks have been a lot of knowledge sharing. I wouldn't want it to end. In fact, I've booked all my Tuesdays up to the end of the year, but I'm waiting for the next series. I'm waiting for communication for the next series, and I want to start immediately. If we are starting next week, it is okay. So thank you so much, the team that has been behind this. Thank you for the learnings. Thank you for the lessons. and we hope to make you proud by putting these lessons into our daily practices. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Frank. Frank, I've liked the way how you've taken the learnings and gone and just shared on LinkedIn. This is what I learned this week. That is helpful for you, for us also to see what you're learning. Because at times when you share what you learned, we also are like, hey, this is a different way of seeing this, but it's also good for you because that's part of embodying the knowledge, getting the knowledge out of getting it in and then getting it out. It's part of embodying the knowledge. Okay, thank you all for putting your hearts and souls into this. God continue to bless you. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. A lot, and I continue. Personally, these webinars have taught me a lot, and I continue to learn in every session. I carry with me all this knowledge, and I'm doing my best to apply everything I learned. Thank you, thank you. Lynn, I want to appreciate the mentors for the effort and sharing this knowledge. I have enjoyed every bit. Thank you, Lynn. This is a beginning. Next time we're going to hear your voice. Next time we're going to hear your voice. So people prefer to write. I just want to appreciate that this is from Fenella. I just want to appreciate that there are videos on YouTube that you can revisit. Yeah, I also want to thank the team for that time. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who is offering your thanks. Next time, we'd really like to hear your voices. But I hand over to Jose because our time is up. I hand over to Jose.
Thank you very much. Just if I can just quickly slip in and say, Joy, you were here first. We should hear something from you, Joy. You were here first, Asim. We heard you at the start, so we are sure you can talk.
All right. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. It has been quite insightful to me. I've just been relating with what is happening at the workplace, like where I work right now, basing from what Jennifer shared, coming to what Dina was giving, then lastly to Jose, like I've just been relating with each and everything, and all this is happening, and to me I'm like, okay, I'm now understanding it deeply, and maybe hopefully I can be a better person in a few areas, maybe where I've come short, you have people at top management seek permission from the manager, and at the end of it all, it backfires, so it comes back to you. So I've learned that you always have, at some point, you have to just give people their respect. Go and ask them for their input so that you can proceed with something. So to me, these sessions have really been very insightful, and I'm very excited for the next series. Please let us not stop. This shouldn't be the end of it. Yeah, and hopefully we shall encourage more people to be joining in. And thank you so much for your time that you always put in. Really honored, and for all the people who have attended, thank you. Till next time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joy. And just where Joy ended, thank you very much, every one of you that has been here. Thank you so much for setting your dates with us. Like Jen said after the first one, she's like, I've set all my Tuesdays, I'll be here. And most of you have done so. Thank you for being here consistently and diligently. And we really treasure your time. Again, would like to really encourage you to be there for the masterclass. You are really, really, really going to enjoy the masterclass. I can assure you. You know those things that come with the money back guarantee. This is one of those things. If it is not worth it, we will refund your money. But that's how sure we are that this will be worth it. I'm really serious. So I would really love to see most of you there. And then we'll communicate when we'll join again. But please, again, the dates for writing the what was it? The what you have learned, so that we can issue the certificates. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week. We will see you here for the masterclass, and then again for the other sessions. But thank you so much. Cheers, everyone.